Welcome to section 14.4, part 2. This is the 154th session of the CISSP exam prep series. This part continues the attacker's playbook with smarter password attacks and ticket theft. In this session, we'll climb from crude cracking to precision credential theft. How does a spraying attack dodge lockouts? How is credential stuffing different? What is a birthday attack really finding? How do rainbow tables speed cracking? And how does Salt stop them? And how do tools like Mimikatz steal hashes and tickets outright? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because the most damaging attacks skip guessing passwords entirely and steal the proof instead. Picture a professional services firm where an attacker never once types a password but still logs in as the domain administrator. That is the world of hash theft and ticket forgery. To defend it, you have to understand exactly what these tools grab from memory and why your existing password policy does nothing to stop them. Let's start with a smarter online attack. How does a spraying attack dodge account lockouts? Instead of hammering one account with many guesses, it tries a single password across a long list of accounts, then loops back with the next password. Lockout policies trigger when one account fails too many times in a short window. So by spreading a few attempts thinly across everyone, the attacker stays under the threshold on any single account. Imagine a policy that locks after 5 bad tries in 30 minutes, but the spraying loop takes 15 minutes per pass. Each account sees only a couple of failures before the timer resets, so it never locks. Low and slow beats the counter. How is credential stuffing different from spraying? The two get confused, but the goal is not the same. Spraying tries to slip past lockout limits. Credential stuffing simply replays known good username and password pairs, checking each one just once per site. It works because people reuse the same credentials everywhere. When one site is breached and its login database leaks, attackers take those pairs and try them automatically across hundreds of other sites. If someone used the same password on their streaming service and their bank, one leak unlocks both. Unique passwords per site break the attack completely. Now, a clever attack rooted in math. What is a birthday attack really finding? It hunts for collisions, two different inputs that produce the same hash. The name comes from a surprising statistic. In a room of just 23 people, there is roughly a 50% chance 2 of them share a birthday. Collisions are far more likely than intuition suggests. Applied to hashing, an attacker does not need to find your exact password. They only need any password that produces the same hash, because to the system, a matching hash is just as good. You blunt this by choosing hash functions whose output is long enough that finding a collision stays computationally out of reach. How do rainbow tables speed up cracking, and how do you stop them? A rainbow table is a giant pre-computed database of passwords paired with their hashes. Normally, a cracker must guess a password, hash it, then compare, over and over, which is slow. With a rainbow table, all that hashing is already done, so the attacker just matches stored hashes against a stolen database at high speed. The defense is Salt, a chunk of random data added to each password before hashing. Salts make pre-computed tables useless, because the attacker would need a fresh table for every possible salt. Adding a pepper, a secret constant kept outside the database, hardens it even further. Now a tool that skips cracking altogether. How does Mimikatz steal credentials from memory? Single sign-on systems hold credentials in memory so users are not prompted repeatedly, and this tool reads that memory directly. It can pull plaintext passwords and pins from the process that handles logon security, extract password hashes, grab Kerberos tickets, and even lift certificates and private keys. Attackers often run it as fileless malware loaded straight into memory, leaving little on disk. The lesson is stark. Once an attacker has enough access to read a machine's memory, your carefully chosen password never even has to be guessed. It is simply lifted. So what do attackers do with a stolen hash? They pass it. In a pass-the-hash attack, the attacker sends a captured password hash directly to an authenticating service, never needing the real password behind it. Normally your client hashes your password and sends the hash, so an attacker who already holds the hash can just replay it. After gaining a foothold on one machine, they harvest hashes from memory, authenticate as that user, and move laterally to the next system, repeating until they find where an administrator recently logged on. The strongest defense is upstream. Prevent that first machine from being compromised in the first place. Kerberos itself becomes a target too. What are the main Kerberos exploitation attacks? Several attacks abuse the ticket system. In Pass the Ticket, attackers harvest tickets from memory and inject them to impersonate a user. A silver ticket forges a service ticket from a stolen service account hash, granting that service account's privileges. A golden ticket is the worst case. Steal the hash of the special Kerberos account that signs all tickets, and the attacker can forge tickets for anything at will across the domain. There are also guessing-style attacks that abuse Kerberos responses to enumerate valid usernames or to harvest tickets that can be cracked offline. The through line is that stolen ticket material is as good as a password, and sometimes far more powerful. So let's bring it together. Spraying dodges, lockouts by trying one password across many accounts, while credential stuffing replays reused pairs across many sites. Birthday attacks exploit how easily hash collisions arise, and rainbow tables pre-compute hashes for speed, which salts and peppers defeat. Tools like Mimikatz skip guessing entirely, lifting passwords, hashes, and tickets straight from memory. Pass the Hash replays a stolen hash without the password, and Kerberos attacks like silver and golden tickets forge access from stolen ticket material. The unifying lesson is to protect that first machine, because once memory is readable, guessing no longer matters. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.